Have you already started, Coma? I noticed you did some chatting streams. Have you already started doing this? Yeah. Oh, that's you're much too kind. Thank you. Just Cal, when you talk, it kind of just sounds like music. Try talking again.
I'm muted. I'm muted.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm muted. Great start. Awesome. Great. So this whole time. Oh, I'm hearing myself through your output too. Let me hold on. I think I can put a noise gate on it. That might fix it. Filters. Noise gate. Okay. I'll just leave it at the default settings and see if that works. Okay, I can't. I'm not hearing you come through. Okay, cool. So,
Sorry.
no, you're good. Oh, that was a great start. I was muted that whole time. Okay, so I'll re-explain what's going on here. I am Calculum. I am a electromancer turned physics tutor, and today we are going to be coming up with my backstory. With me, I have Cisco. He's one of the best lore makers that I know, so I invited him to help me figure this out.
Hello.
So we're going to start by going just over like the broad strokes of what I have already kind of come up with for Cal. Let me increase the font size just a little bit. All right. So what I had already decided was that, Cal is really old.
Nice.
And existed back in the time of Dungeons and Dragons, like adventures and, wandering around in the woods fighting monsters.
Oh yeah.
So, oh my god, I cannot spell. And so Cal was an adventurer.
An electromancer, you said?
Yeah, an electromancer.
Nice.
But Cal also lived through the human industrial revolution. And so now I'm currently living in the modern times.
So you've really seen it all.
Yeah, and so, as time went on, there was less need for electromancers out there fighting dragons. Oop, I'm cutting through your audio again. Let me turn up the noise gate. All right. Hello? How's this?
I think it's good.
I can still hear myself coming through your thing. I'm surprised the noise suppression hasn't caught it. Let me use better noise suppression. How's this? Okay. That should be good. But yeah, so oh gosh, now if I talk too loud it's gonna come up. Oh well. We'll just have to deal with it. So Cal lived through human industrialization and now is living in a time basically akin, technologically, to where we live now.
Nice. Okay.
And that's basically the broad strokes.
Good broad strokes. I think it's a good start.
So yeah, I guess I want to think.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So what do you think Cal was doing during the Industrial Revolution? Being an electromancer and such.
That's a good question. Maybe
were you assisting anyone like Tesla or something in their experiments or something?
Maybe a Tesla-like person.
Yeah, or adjacent.
That could be, yeah. Here, so I'll put some bullet points now for the stuff that we're coming up with now. So, assisted inventors in the industrialization, and maybe that's where I learned physics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you were using your magic on the download to help out the inventors a little bit.
Well, I mean, I was thinking it was so it wasn't a frowned upon thing. I think it's pretty openly magical.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And maybe more so just I was using the electric powers to power up and operate the devices.
Yeah. But maybe you became more interested in like the technical aspects, and that's how you got into physics.
Yeah, because I was toying around with an idea. I made a joke in Marie's chat that I have to chew on like electric cables to get the electricity, and
Yeah.
well, that's obviously kind of silly. I do like the idea of maybe like I have to absorb electricity to like output it. It doesn't just like come from me.
So
So
where were you getting that before the existence of like?
that's something that I need to figure out. Like maybe like I had to go like sit out and get struck by lightning, and that would like
I'm
charge me
just
up for a month.
imagining, I'm just imagining he's like standing in the middle of a storm, just like.
And but so another thing that I was like thinking is like maybe like so there's already like some discrepancies between my tattoos and my different models, and so maybe like the tattoos are more of a indicator of how much electricity I have stored.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I like that a
Yeah,
lot. Yeah,
and so they're like always changing.
that's really cool.
Yeah, but I kind of like the idea of just having to like sit out in the rain and get struck by lightning to get my powers. And maybe that would be a good, like, like pyromancers have to set themselves on fire. And like,
What if you just had like a really goofy like wizard hat, but it had like a lightning rod in it,
yes, yeah, I love that.
metal pole on, like metal pole attached to it. Just
Yeah. Or I would have to like sit on top of buildings like during storms.
yeah.
So okay, so has to absorb electricity to use powers. And so that's why I was chewing on Marie's cables.
I want someone to draw that. Just you like hunched over,
Just
like
the gremlin, like,
cables in your mouth, just like dead eyed, like a little goblin.
But yeah, so I have to absorb electricity to use my powers, and so I think that kind of like goes along. Like physics is very much about conservation. Conservation of energy, conservation of charge, and so I think that kind of fits with like having my powers also obey those conservation laws. Like I have to absorb electricity to be able to output it.
You think that's something you kind of got a better grasp of through learning physics? Like,
Yeah.
kind of maybe you had sort of an innate understanding of like, oh, if I don't get electrocuted, then I won't have my powers as much. And it wasn't until later, like when you started studying physics, like, oh, that's because of the conservation of energy. Like
maybe it became more of an analytical than an intuitive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like now that you have that more like technical grasp, I guess, of it, or like academic grasp, you can like track it better.
Track it?
Like you have ways to like gauge your own electricity.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Or maybe it's just sort of like vibes.
I guess I want to also like wonder, like, so should the tattoos be something that I've always had even back when I was an adventurer, or is it like, is this a new thing?
Ooh, maybe it's a new thing. Maybe it's like a spell that you created to be able to keep track of how much power you have.
Yeah. So maybe that will be like during the like industrialization time.
Yeah.
Here, maybe I'll put that after this. So created a spell to track how much electricity he has through ever changing tattoos. Okay, cool. Let's see. Are there any other questions that you have that we could answer?
I don't know, because I feel like you don't. Well, like, I don't want to ask any questions that would maybe prompt you to have to like behave specific ways on stream, if that makes sense.
No, I mean, I think like, it's fine for me to like not always
kind of play a little bit.
Sorry, I think it's fine for me to not always be perfectly in character. So don't worry about it. Just shoot if you have a question. Go for it.
I guess I'm also curious, like, because you said like Cal's been around for a long time. So I'm like,
Yes.
what's Cal's opinions on humanity slash what's their general vibes? Like, are they like I've been around for a long time and I'm just like perpetually tired, or is it like
I think
they're
it's
like chilling,
I think it's kind of like
or
that. Where like, yes, I am so old that I'm tired, but I also think like, elves age differently. So I still think of Cal as like a younger person too.
gotcha? Okay, so like
Yeah.
younger for an elf, but like
Yeah.
old, like generally old. Yeah,
Young for elf, but like old by human standards. So maybe that's a good thing. How old should Cal be? Like,
hmm.
so if I want to
Well, if
go
we're
from
going,
medieval to modern, that's a couple thousand years.
yeah. Ooh, okay.
So maybe we'll say
'Cause I'm
like,
like,
sorry, what was it?
oh no, you're fine. I was like, because I was like, I mean, we don't have to go by like D&D logic specifically. Just because you mentioned kind of D&D-esque
Yeah.
like world in the past,
Hmm.
but because it's like I know in that generally it's like elves like kind of reach maturity at like 90,
Yeah.
but they're kind of immortal. So I don't know what like we can always tweak that a bit.
I think it's so yeah, like different like stories have different like lifespans for elves. I think like in like, Lord of the Rings and stuff, they're basically immortal.
Yeah,
Um
they like they like choose to die.
yeah. And I think maybe that would be fun. Like just like I am basically immortal, but I still have like a low paying tutoring job.
Whenever you feel especially bummed out, you age a tiny bit.
Yeah. So maybe we'll say, I don't know, like we'll say I'm 26 right now, so maybe we'll say 2,600 years old.
Yeah. What would that be back to? Hold on. I guess that would be pre year zero. So you're getting into BC.
Yeah. Well, we also don't have to have this world be the same kind of like development as the real
Oh,
world.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I was just like genuinely like curious, like, well, if it was in our world, like, what would that set you back to? Like 600 BC?
Yeah, 600 BC-ish, yeah.
Oh, well, like, oh my God, I'm gonna show my ass here on not knowing. I want to
It's
say that's like Roman, ancient Greek,
that
maybe
might
Egypt, like that.
be Greek.
Greek, yeah,
Yeah, because Rome was about the time of Christ, right?
yeah.
Well, yeah, because it was literally the time of Christ. Yeah. So that was probably ancient Egyptian, ancient Greek times.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. But
So,
yeah, this world doesn't have to be the same.
yeah.
Um,
Let's see. I guess we could also think like, is Cal's family still alive? Because if elves
ooh,
are
interesting.
basically immortal, I think that could be funny. Yeah.
They're still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, I guess they're the like. I don't know why they wouldn't be.
Yeah, you don't have to have like an edgy like
Yeah.
everyone's dead.
This isn't D&D. I'm not trying to make an edgelord character.
Um,
So I guess would they be? Should I come from a family of wizards, or should I be the only one?
hmm.
If we're being true to
I mean, we don't
like,
have to.
what should I call not Cal?
IRL Cal.
We'll call. we'll just say not Cal. So if we're being true to not Cal, they would be the only wizard in the family. So
I like that.
let's see. What other things should I like maybe not just so much like history, but like, like facts about personality, facts and stuff. Hold on, I want to
How
reset.
does I guess
Space.
you know is Cal excited still about science? Like I feel like since it's relatively new for Cal, do you think it's still like a very exciting
Yeah, I would say
thing?
so.
I think what else would be good? 'Cause I feel like we've got all the big beats done. I feel like the rest would just be like
Maybe
little quirks.
passionate about physics, but jaded about like life, like working and stuff.
About the like the what do you call it? The profession, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like Cal. That would be funny if Cal was just like, science used to be like fun, like like back in the industrial age, where it's just like everyone's just kind of doing
Science used to be
like,
about, tubes and electricity, and now everyone's just programming computers.
Tubes. Maybe Cal's class like Cal still uses like really archaic like technology, like in tandem with new technology. But like,
yeah.
They got some tubes. They got some tubes up in there. Maybe some vials.
Uses archaic technology.
Got a couple cathodes or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, hey, Riv, how's it going? Sleepy elf, indeed. This here is my friend Cisco. We're coming up with Cal's lore. So far, we have that Cal is a electromancer. He's very old on human scales, but pretty young for an elf, only 2,600 years old. We're saying that he lived through the human industrial revolution and assisted inventors like whatever this world's equivalent of Nikola Tesla are in their inventions, but has resorted in the modern day to just being a physics tutor because the job market is pretty bad. Also, I have to absorb electricity. I have to basically electrocute myself to use my electric powers. So back in the old days, that meant, I had to go sit on a rooftop and wait to get struck by lightning, but now I can just chew on some cables and get a little charge. And these electric tattoos are a gauge of how much electricity I have stored up. Let's see. What else could we...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also thinking, okay, because you just said. So it's like Cal used to assist like all these inventors who in theory invented important things in this world.
Yeah.
So why is Cal still like a part-time like a non-tenured
maybe Cal
low.
Maybe Cal got Tesla'd and like I don't have any recognition for any of the things that I did.
Got screwed over. Yeah. Maybe that's part of why you're bitter too. You're so bitter.
Got no credit for scientific work back in the day. And so that's why I am currently teaching physics. Okay.
Maybe also like Cal cares more about like teaching the students, like that's more exciting to Cal than like publishing or getting like personal renown.
Maybe because of like all that like jaded about the industry.
Yeah. Sick. Do you think Cal incorporates magic into like what is the nature of science in this world? Because like magic exists. Do you think it's like is magic sort of like an outdated practice
I want to say that maybe magic in this case has been kind of like absorbed into science, like the study of it.
Okay, so it's just like it's own sort of section of study.
Yeah. And maybe like they just realize like like my electromancer powers are just electromagnetism, like the study of it, but in a specific context.
Yeah.
And so they'll learn about like like the conservation laws. I have to absorb as much electricity as I, like Cal absorbs, um, you know, 5 trillion electrons. How much energy can he send in a blast?
Do
That
you
kind of
think
thing.
that could like? Do you think maybe that's part of also why Kyle's like so tired? Like maybe the way that your body has to absorb the electricity like fucks with your like
Metabolism.
natural
Yeah.
metabolism and stuff.
I also think just like Cal does not get sleep.
Probably not.
Yeah, maybe like the elves like trance thing, but Cal like just cannot sit still long enough
He
to
does
get like
like
a full trance.
yeah, he's like that's good enough.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you think Cal is more on the theoretical side of things, or is he doing experiments?
Um. Well, so Cal's mostly teaching now. So maybe like
Oh yeah, I guess it's
yeah.
more of like
I think
is he teaching like low level classes or mid level or high
probably
level?
probably because I also had the idea that like maybe like when we have if you're in a world with like so many races like like there are humans but like there are elves like Cal, there are satyrs like you, maybe they like judge age in people by how close they are to their species like typical death age. And so since elves are basically immortal, everyone treats Cal like a young adult.
Oh yeah, okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say that'd be funny too if they all treated him like, even though he looks young, they're just like he could go at any minute, and just like
I think
we
I
don't
think they
know
would
when it's.
I think they'd be aware that like, they live forever.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, maybe that is like treated as a young person despite age. And maybe because like a lot of prestige in science and industry is based on like seniority. And so like
Yeah,
being constantly like, infinitely away from the age of your species death means that he's always just like the youngest person in a room.
but also the oldest. It's like a
Yeah.
weird, terrible paradox.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And maybe like that's just part of like a elves have like the personality of their age, and so that's why like so Cal still acts like a young person, just grumpier.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, do you think Cal talks about like his adventuring days at all?
Um. I guess yeah. Now I mean, maybe we should like flesh that out too, like what Cal was doing before.
Yeah. Also, just in general, like, what do you think memory is like for elves? Like, do you think their memory is just as good as their lifespan, or do you think they forget things like after just living for so long?
Maybe they forget like in the same way that like a human won't remember every single day of
But
their
like
life,
general vibe.
but they like
Yeah.
like I'm not like forgetting like the people that I knew when
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was yeah. So maybe we'll break this down into like the time period. So like this is industrialization
Yeah.
times. And then we have like adventure times before that. So I guess what we gotta think like what happened to Cal then? Like did Cal go on any specific adventures?
Hmm.
This is a
Because I'm like,
this
yeah,
is the part that I've thought the
definitely.
least about.
Well, like, there's so many different things Cal could have done.
Yeah.
Um,
So maybe we could think like how did Cal become an electromancer?
yeah, how did Cal become a wizard if
Yeah.
the rest of his family wasn't wizards? That's maybe a good thing to think about.
Maybe Cal was just struck by lightning.
That'd actually be really funny.
Maybe that's like because I like the very like naturalistic approach to magic in this. Maybe like, you know, certain people have the ability to become magical, but there has to be something that prompts it.
Like
So
a catalyst of some
yeah,
sort.
and so like maybe a pyromancer has to like be someone that has like a magical ability and also has to be like immolated.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think maybe it should be violent.
So do you think that they do like I'm wondering like do you think in this world they like test for magic at a certain age or something and they just like, okay, you're gonna get electrocuted, shocked?
I
or
think it would be funnier if
electrocuted,
not. Like if it was just like a
so it just
gamble.
happened?
Yeah. Like, cause
Then I feel like there'd have to be lots of stories of people being like, "Oh, I'm definitely like magic," and just like,
and then dying.
like diving into a
Yeah.
bit of acid or something. Being like, "I'll be good."
Maybe that would be fun. Like it had like the like, you know, inciting event for getting your like magic has to be like literally something that would kill you.
Yeah, so that's like kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, just got like struck by lightning.
Yep. So what was Cal doing when they got struck by lightning?
Maybe like climbing a tree or something. Are you thinking it happened to Cal when they were like a child, or do you think they were more, like...
I think before they were an adult. I think that would be. You know.
See, because I think it'd be funny if you got like if Cal got like you were like playing outside or something and you just got like struck by lightning.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's dead," and then you're like, "I'm good." Maybe you're like accidentally shock someone, like you're like magic like discharged when they try to like heal you or whatever. Like,
yeah, so I guess that is a good question. Like, how did it first manifest? Is it something that like Cal had to like try to do, or did it just happen? Who just like accidentally shocked the person, the doctor trying to heal them.
yeah, I guess like do you want it to be like you had some level of like innate control to it, or do you think it was like you had to learn based like?
I think it might be good to like have to learn it.
Yeah. So I think maybe if you got like you accidentally like discharged the first time or something. That sounds so wrong, but electrical.
Okay, cool. Now there also comes the question like, so should there be like spells that like wizards can cast that aren't necessarily just like their, you know, magic affinity?
Yeah, I think maybe it's just that like maybe it's like the inciting incident sort of unlocks your ability to use magic, and it sort of determines your like preferred
the things that you're good at.
Yeah, like I think you're like naturally predisposed to using like electric magic, but like you can use other magic.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe it's like dependent. So like maybe like because you're naturally disposed to electric magic, maybe things like fire magic are easier for you.
Like we could come up with like what's closer.
Yeah.
So like maybe
then maybe things like earth magic are more difficult.
Yeah. That would make sense. How would someone get earth magic? Because I can see like fire if you're like burned. If you drown, you get water magic. Earth magic seems like just rocks fall on you.
Yeah, it's like a landslide, or maybe like a mudslide, or I don't know. Maybe you have to like maybe that one's like you get like buried alive or something.
Oh, that would be so dark. Like all of the what would they be called? Terramancers are just people that were like victims of the mob.
They're all just like claustrophobic.
That also gets into like, okay, what happened to a necromancer?
I think with necromancy.
Oh, hey son, how's it going? Wow, you weren't kidding. Late, lol. Yeah. Cisco and I are in different time zones. You're good. Cisco and I are in different time zones, and I forgot about that. It's cool though. Didn't see you were live. Yeah, Oh, did the message not go out? That's okay. So we're currently coming up with Cal's lore. So we got the broad strokes. Cal's an electromancer. They're really old, about 2,600 years old, but that's young for an elf. They come from a family of what did I do? They come from a family of non-wizards. They're passionate about physics, but jaded about the profession of studying physics. Very much think about the good old days, and I'm thinking the Industrial Revolution as the good old days. And then because of that, uses very archaic technology during their physics demos. Live through industrialization. They're currently living in a modern day fantasy world. They're always tired because they can't sit still for a full trance because elves do not sleep. They trance for 4 hours. But they are always treated as being young, even though they're probably the oldest person in the room, because in this world, your age is judged by how far you are from your species' death. And I think that's a measure to be fair to all of the shorter lived species, because they're always going to be the youngest in the room, and so instead of basing it how far you are from birth, it's how far you are from death. But since elves are effectively immortal in this world, Cal is always the farthest from death of any person in the room, so they're always treated as the youngest person there. So during the adventuring time, so before the Industrial Revolution, they got magical abilities by being struck by lightning. And so we have in this world, you get magic powers by having innate magical abilities, but you also have to be something has to incite the magic to activate in you, and it has to be something very visceral, like being struck by lightning or being burned alive if you want to be a pyromancer. And then we have some stuff about what happened in the Industrial Revolution. So they insisted inventors during their Nikola Tesla and stuff, but kind of got shafted on the credit for that. This caused them to turn away from inventing in science and focus more on teaching. This probably belongs in the other section. It has to absorb electricity to use powers. That's probably going to go up. Maybe probably up here. That comes from a joke that I made in Marie's chat about how I was chewing on her power cables to get the electricity from it. So I have to electrocute myself to, get the electricity. And then I created a spell that tracks how much electricity I have stored through the tattoos on my body. And that's what we have so far. Did I miss anything, Cisco?
No, you nailed it.
All right, sweet. And so I can use other spells. It's just that I'm innately predisposed to electricity spells. So do you have any questions, son, that could prompt us to think of more things? And you too, Cisco. Do you have any other thoughts?
I'm just thinking about necromancy now.
How someone becomes a necromancer.
I kind of think for necromancy, maybe that's the one magic that isn't born about naturally. It's because it's an unnatural type of magic.
It could also be since we're doing a very scientific magic, it's almost like a Dr. Frankenstein kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's more of a science than an actual magic.
It's not something that you can possess innately. It's something that you have to be a wizard specializing in something else, and then you can become a necromancer by applying your magic to that.
I like that.
How limited are these electromancy? Can you just cast bolts? Can you bend the bolts or stop a current midway through a cable and a wire? I think I have control over electromagnetic fields, and then therefore anything with electric charge. That's what I was thinking. So I could I would be able to stop charges flowing in wires and stuff like that.
That include people's brains?
Sure, why not? Maybe that's something that I don't do though. So here, yeah, let's start that. So can control electromagnetic fields. I cannot spell.
You should write cannot spell on there as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. That should be at the very top.
Did you almost misspell cannot?
Almost. I almost did. Needs to have an evil twin called Lack. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. That was a joke. Yeah, no, I get you, but yeah, I can't say the joke that I was thinking about.
Oh my god, I know what you're thinking about. Oh.
Oh, okay. I'll DM it later. Control electromagnetic fields to move charges. Should I have a necromancer twin brother?
I think you should.
Yeah.
What if it's like, what if you got your twin? What if you made your twin, like you had like a necromancy phase somewhere in there, and you made your twin, and then you're like, you know what, I'm good. I don't need to do this anymore.
Although, because like, they're a necromancer, they're undead themselves.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I also think it'd be funny if, like, you know, like they're a necromancer, but it's like that's just like an edgy thing, and it's not like, you know, super immoral. In like this, yeah. I think that would be funny.
What if your twin is almost like this world's Dr. Frankenstein, and you like used your electricity powers to help them like figure out necromancy?